All right, welcome to another episode. Excuse me there. Welcome to another episode of EJ Outdoors. Today is November 12th, 2023. I'm going to go ahead and shut that garage door. So today is November 12th, 2023. It is a very warm November day here in Northeast Iowa. And it is also super windy, as you might be able to tell behind me in the background here. So what I'm going to do today is I've got some trail cameras that need rebatteried. A couple of them need moved. I'm trying my best to stay out of the hunting grounds up until the gun season starts here in a couple weeks. I'm still going to try and get in there and maybe fill that doe tag around Thanksgiving with my bow. Hopefully lay a hunt down for you guys to see on that. But for the most part, we're trying to stay out of there. Really have high hopes for Delana as we roll into gun season. Still have a couple nice ones on camera. Still have a few random ones showing up, of course, with the rut going on. So follow along with me today. We're hopping on the Ranger. It's Delana's birthday, November 12th. She's off running around shopping with her mom and her friend, and they're having a good time. So dear old dad here is going to go have a good time in the woods. So follow along, and we're going to go do some trail cam movement. So, little pit stop on the way here. Noticed as I was pulling out of the garage, we're just a little low on some tire pressure here in the UTV. Haven't had her out for a week, so a little sitting, lost a little air pressure, but we've got good old Quickstar. Can't beat Quickstar. Everything you need. That's not a sponsor plug. Hang tight, we're going to fill this tire up and get down there. Alright, we're in business. Oh, wait. So we're at the first camera, and to some of the regular viewers this spot might look pretty familiar. That's the stand I killed my buck out of back on November 2nd. Like I said, today's November 12th, and as you can probably tell in the video here, like I said when we were leaving the driveway, it's really windy today. Hot, windy. Deer movement's probably at a lull, and we're right at 12 o'clock. 12 to 12:30, midday. Trying to just sneak in here. I got a couple cameras need rebatteried, and then I got one that needs moved. But pretty happy with the camera placement on a lot of these, and I'm pretty happy with the battery life. I haven't done anything with the battery since late July, so like I said, it's November 12th. So we're gonna go ahead and this first one. It's just as simple as open it up. I use the Spy Point, not any partnership or anything, but they've held up pretty well, and they're quite economical. A lot of times Academy was running a 2-pack deal for $100, so I'm kind of a cheapskate. I utilize that. So I pulled the battery pack out. I'm gonna make my way back to the Ranger, and we'll get her rebatteried up. So the nice and easy part here about the way Spy Point does this, and I don't have a lot of experience with cell cameras. The Spy Points are the first ones I've ever used, and they're really user-friendly, so that's what I have experience with. So I don't know what other companies have as far as their battery packs go. I'm sure they're all good. Like I said, I don't have any certain affiliation. I just went with what was economical for me at the time and simple to use. So thus far it's been that. Takes pretty good pictures. So I got the other batteries pulled out, make sure we put them in the proper way. When it comes to batteries, I've had some that are really poor in holding up and some that have done pretty well. These Rayovacs that you get at Walmart work quite well. They hold up pretty good in the trail cameras. I got some I got like 100 pack of AA's off Amazon for $20. So we're gonna do a test run on those as time rolls on here, and I'll let you all know how those hold up, but that'll be for a different video. I'm gonna go ahead and get this back in the camera, and I'll join you here again soon. So I've got the battery pack back in, and one thing I do, I don't know how everybody does it, but I put that battery pack in, I flip the camera on, and I let it find its cell tower before I leave the area. I want to make sure it's operating, so I'll know when it takes that first picture as well through the SpyPoint app. But while we're waiting, I'm going to walk you over here. You got to see on the kill video with my video of the Big 10, that was actually the Big 12. But what they've done to this Mossy Oak Biologic Final Forage is just crazy. The turkeys have been out here dusting. They've got, the clover is just beat down. I mean, it is, they have eaten it. And what is so cool is to look down in here and all these bulbs yet that's still around. So they've done a crazy job on the tops, but got all these bulbs for their winter forage, and it is just all throughout here. There's a big one right, get that on the camera, big one right there. They are just all throughout here. It is so neat. And I'm going to show you the main food plots as well today. We're just doing a little land tour, a little trail camera work, and just having you follow along. This is the kind of stuff I just live for, is working on the land, planting trees, planting food plots, seeing the animals, all wildlife, the turkeys, the pheasants, the squirrels, rabbits. We got a really good rabbit population in here this year now. Just seeing all those animals, the deer especially, thrive, get great nutrition, and have a great healthy herd is just one thing that I've really taken a liking to. And it's a year-round thing, planting trees and just always having something to do, habitat improvement. It's just a lot of fun. So just taking you along today. There's not going to be any wildlife action here probably, but taking you along on this hot, windy November 12th afternoon. Stay tuned. Alright, so we've made it. Shut that off. So we've made it to what I call the north camera. And you can see it was over a scrape. That scrape's still been kept open. There's a nice trail that works its way out that way. But we're going to move this one. We're going to get this one. This is kind of out in the open. There's a nice row of oak trees here. I had it here for eating on acorns. These things produced a lot of acorns for small trees. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to move this one to more of a pinch point, more of a little funnel. And it'll tell us a lot better what's going on as we get closer to the gun season. So, and as you can really see in this video, the wind's blowing, so it's really masking what we're doing in here. They're used to me on this Ranger, so in the next couple shots, I'm gonna leave the Ranger running. I hope the audio is still okay. I probably should have wore my microphone, but I'm gonna leave the Ranger running because I found when I do that, they're used to me down in here with that, and as long as I don't shut that off, it doesn't seem to bother them too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead, one down, and then I'll show you where we're going to set it up. So I'm rebattering another camera right now that's on the way to moving that one that we just got from the north. And as you notice, the Ranger's still running. Like I just spoke about a little bit ago, I'm down in a quieter part of the timber and the wind doesn't get in here as much. So I'm in here quite a bit with the Ranger throughout the summer and everything, and the deer and the wildlife get quite used to that sound. And I have no idea what they call me. I don't know what my name is to the wildlife, but I'm thinking they just think, oh, it's that guy that's down here that does some work and makes our little area better. So I leave it running when I'm in these quiet spots doing any kind of work. So even when I'm hanging stands and stuff throughout the summer, I'll leave the UTV running. So just a little tip that's worked well for me. May not work for everybody, but it seems to be in the deer in our area get quite used to that machinery. And like in my video about the farm equipment and deer, this is much of the same. It's just masking the fact that I'm in here doing stuff. So one of those tips works for me, may not work for everybody, but keep working our way around here. All right, we are back where I wanted to put this camera from the north, and this is near a stand that I had an encounter with Delena's target buck on pheasant hunting opening morning, October 28th, if you look back on that video. But this is a setup. I put the camera right in this little tree, and I had to kind of finagle it with another stick, but the camera is in this little tree. It's at quite an angle, but right below it I have my mock scrape, and they've kept this open. This is fresh worked, so not only is it going to catch deer coming to that mock scrape, but it's going to catch deer coming down that way and anything that comes at this basic little triangle right here. And I've got a trail that runs along the thicket up that way too, so it's all kind of coming together right there. So it should catch a lot of movement. It's pretty encouraging, that mock scrape. I tell you what, guys, I mean, like I said in past videos, there's people that'll make fun of me about that, but you put a hanging branch with a rope like that, and for whatever reason they love playing with that and kicking it around on their head, which, you know, they're putting their scent glands on that, you know, dispersing scent, but they love knocking that around with their antlers and everything else. So one of these days I need to set one of my cameras up on it with video and get some of that. But, so yeah, that's the setup on that one. I'm gonna have to rename this one. I'll have to call it the East Camera or something now, but I know real original names, right? Way to go, Eric. Hard to believe I'm a writer. So we're gonna move along. I need to rebattery the one over the food plot, and I want to show you the main food plots and talk about some of the videos. You guys have seen some pumpkins out there, and I want to show you just what we did there with growing those. Real simple. So stay tuned. We're going to move along to that, and then we'll wrap this episode up. So this is some sorghum that really came in fantastic. I'm still experimenting. I can't plant corn down here. I don't have a big enough expanse to plant corn effectively. You've got to have a lot, and we've got a 2.5 acre patch out away from the timber, but I tried planting corn in here last year and it was just annihilated before even September rolled around. So raccoons, everything gets at it. So this year I went with sorghum, and I'm going to show you each and every one of these tops is usually loaded up with seeds, and they annihilated it. I don't see a seed top that did not get eaten throughout the entire plot. And you can see I had a few stalks of corn mixed in there, but they got a hold of that too. So got into its doughy stage with them seeds back in, I think mine matured in October, early October, and they must have figured it out real quick. Usually it takes them a while to figure that out, but I didn't get through that stage. I was hoping they'd have nutritional value here into the winter, but barring any few seeds here and few seeds there, there's not a lot left here. They've really done a number on it. So just one of those things that you evolve as you go. This was an experiment. Maybe next year we'll just utilize this into some turnips or something as well, but it was an experiment and we'll move on from it. And I may even try sorghum again and just do a different blend or something, maybe something that matures later, or maybe even plant later in anticipation. It's just you're really always playing you know, a game with that first frost. So, and the sorghum's pretty sensitive to that. So anyway, I'll show you that. We're not too far from what I would consider the main food plots. This is pretty much the area of the main food plots, but we'll move on up ahead. So here we are at the main food plots. This is what we sit over when, like, Delena's interplot. This is the clover. the final forage. One thing I really want to show you, as I was pulling up, I hadn't had a chance to walk out into this final forage plot, but some of the bulbs are just enormous. If you look in there, talk about forage. Those are some giant bulbs. There's a lot of nutritional value on this plot. Just absolutely, that's bigger than a softball right there. Just absolutely huge, what they have to feed on. As we walk over here, you can tell it's windy. We tried the all-new Endurance radish this year, and they have ate it to nubs. They destroyed it. I do have pictures back of what this looked like as it was growing, and it was really nice. But they love the tops so much. There's still some around, but not a whole lot. We're definitely going to play with this a lot more. This was very, very attractive to them. Here you can see a bulb. Let me pull that out. That's in there. But there's one of the radishes. Lots of forage. Right next to it is Clover Plus, and again, just like that south plot, just beat down. They've eaten it and eaten it and eaten it. Up there you can see towards the top, up towards Delena's blind, there is more sorghum. That stuff's all eaten up pretty well too, but I'm going to take a quick walk. I'm going to spare you the walk, and I'm going to show you these pumpkins that we did. This is obviously where they cross through the final forage daily, and you can still see that there's a giant bulb just glowing right there. Just forage. With the way they had the clover wiped out, I was worried that they wouldn't have a lot of forage for the winter, but between our 2.5 acre corn plot out away from the woods and these final forage plots and the Endurance radish, what's left of it, we're looking pretty good shape here. So as you can see here, pumpkins. And I had a few comments that, well, you can't throw them pumpkins out there. Well, we did not indeed throw them pumpkins out there. Once that first frost hits, you can see the greenery for these pumpkins goes away really quick, but you can see the vines coming to our pumpkins here. And this, believe it or not, was it was 2 seed packets from Walmart, 97 cents each, and I put 6 little hills with just a few seeds each hill, and this is what we came out with. It is just crazy, the amount of pumpkins that Delana grew. This was something a buddy of mine told me about, and then Delana saw it on YouTube as well, and we decided to give it a try. But so interesting. I have seen them chewing on the outsides. I've been told that they will smash them open, and then they'll really get to eating on them. So we'll see how that works out. But so I'm going to go ahead and close this up, get you guys out of the sun here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this episode up. This is just a little journey through the land this afternoon, getting some trail camera work done. Showed you a little bit about what we've got for food down here, and just what I really enjoy doing out of this whole venture. I mean, I love shooting big bucks, and I love hunting specific bucks. That's all part of it too, but I really love the land management, food plots, the trees, trail cameras, wildlife nutrition. I just love the whole works of it. So until next time, I appreciate you tuning in. And we're going to go ahead and close out this episode of EJ Outdoors. And until then, get outdoors.